everyone, Alice here again. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing good today. I'm wearing my Walt Disney World dinosaur jumper. It's amazing. It says, "We're not gonna make it, we're not gonna make it." Which, if you've been to Disney World, you know what that's referencing, and now that line will be stuck in my head all day, but that's not what we're here for today. Today I am going to be talking to you about Wizarding World Gold, which is the highest membership level you can have on the Wizarding World website. So I've been a member of the Gold level for about a year and a half now, and I've definitely got opinions on the best things about it, what makes it worth it, and the things that maybe aren't so good and maybe that I think make it not worth it. So I'm going to sort of discuss that today, go through the things that I think are great, the things that aren't so great, and the things that are kind of in the middle to hopefully help you come to a conclusion about whether being a Wizarding World Gold member is the right choice for you, because it is a fair bit of money to be putting away each year, and you don't want to do that until you know what you're getting yourself into. So hopefully you'll find this video useful, and with that, let's get into it. Okay, let's get started, and I thought it would be a good idea to start with the pros, start off with the positives of Wizarding World Gold, and there are lots, to be fair. The first one is the discounts you get being a Wizarding World Gold member. You get loads of discounts at loads of places, including the Harry Potter online shop, the Platform 9 3/4 shop, pretty much any official Wizarding World Harry Potter store, you will get a discount ranging roughly around the 10% mark, but it can kind of change. And when you're buying like a fair few things, maybe you tend to buy Christmas gifts from there, or you just like to purchase as much Harry Potter merchandise as you can, having that discount is a huge plus, and I've saved a lot of money having it, so that's a really big plus. Speaking of free things, you get a welcome gift every year that you renew. So the first year you become a member, you'll get a gift, and then you get a gift every year that you renew your membership. So I've had two so far. The first year, when you first sign up, you get a Mina Lima inspired book based on your Hogwarts house of choice. You get a card that's signed by J.K. Rowling, obviously not a wet signature, but and it's got her original sketch of Hogwarts on it, which is really cool. So you just get some fun kind of things like that. And then when you renew each year, it's different every year what you get. This year I got a animals pin set and then a random other Dumbledore pin as well, which was super cute. So it's obviously really nice to get those little rewards, get those freebies, get some things, some Harry Potter merchandise that you might not otherwise ever get or have access to. So it's definitely worth it for that reason. You also get early access to events and experiences and things like that. So you can get last minute tickets to the Warner Brothers Studio Tour, which is great. So if you're ever in the area you just want to go, you're more likely to be able to get tickets because they hold tickets for Wizarding World Gold members. It's not always possible, but there's the opportunity. You can also get early access to lots of different things. So for example, the Harry Potter photographic exhibition that's in London at the moment, all Wizarding World Gold members got early access. So if you wanted to get tickets before everyone else, you could, which obviously increases your chances of actually getting tickets to go to some of these really in-demand things. There's lots of ones as well, like tickets to go and see The Cursed Child in all its different locations, so you're more likely to be able to go to those things. The tickets aren't necessarily discounted, but you do get early access. And then you also have access to specific Wizarding World Gold events that are exclusively for Gold members. So for example, a couple of years ago, I believe they did a Christmas party in the London Warner Brothers Studio Tour where you could go in and the Great Hall was decorated for Christmas, and you could have your Christmas dinner there and then walk around the exhibition with hardly anyone else there. So that's an absolutely huge perk, is access to these exclusive events and opportunities that no one else in the world basically gets to do. So I'd say that's definitely the biggest benefit of being a Gold member. So those are my main positives of being a Gold member, and to be fair, they're pretty big ones. So the fact that, you know, you get free gifts, free merchandise all the time, you have access to early access to events and activities, you get exclusive access to certain events, and discounts on merchandise as well. So being a Wizarding World Gold member, although you're obviously spending money to be a part of it, you are saving money in lots of different ways and obviously getting to do some really cool things. But now we're going to move on to the things that I think are just okay about being a Wizarding World Gold member. Things that don't really sway my opinion either way, but they are part of the membership that I need to mention. The first one is you get free ebooks when you're a Wizarding World Gold member. So I can have access to the digital version of all the books on my phone, iPad, computer, whatever. As long as I log on to Wizarding World Gold, I have the free ebooks, which is really cool. Obviously, you've got the books wherever you go. If I'm ever on holiday and think, oh, I wish I'd brought a book, well, I've got the ebooks. The reason this to me is just okay is because personally I would have preferred the audiobooks. I have obviously physical copies of the books, and I'm sure most people who pay to be a Wizarding World Gold member do as well because they're big Harry Potter fans. I personally am not a big fan of reading digitally. Reading a book, I never do it. I was never into the sort of Kindle craze. I much prefer having a physical book, so I've never used the ebooks. So to me, it's not really worth it. I think to some people it might be, but I personally would have preferred to have actually had the audiobooks because that's something I would use a lot. The other thing you get is more online content. So if you go onto wizardingworld.com now and you're just a silver member, then you'll have access to quizzes, features, things like that. When you're a Wizarding World Gold member, you just get more of them. So you get more quizzes, more crosswords, more word searches, more features, more behind the scenes stuff. The website's just bigger and a bit more fleshed out, which again is really, really nice. I love it. If I've got an extra 10 minutes, I'll just sit and flick through, do a crossword, something like that. It's a really nice feature. But again, that in itself isn't worth, to me, the price of membership. Like, it's really cool, but that's why it's sort of in the just okay category. Like, there's nothing amazing about it. And now we get to the cons. It's a shame I have to finish on the cons, but some of the cons kind of relate to the pros, so I wanted to make sure I did them first. But my first con is obviously that it's very expensive. It costs a lot to be a Wizarding World Gold member. Obviously you just pay once at the beginning of the year, so the rest of the year you kind of, you can kind of forget you've paid it if you can, but it is a lot of money, and I do find during COVID it's maybe they should have lowered the price, essentially, I think, during COVID, because you're not getting as much for your money as you would have otherwise. For example, I mentioned the Christmas party for Wizarding World Gold members. Well, obviously that couldn't happen the last couple of years. So the exclusive events and activities for Gold members that I was telling you about, you're not getting access to at the moment. Similarly, early access to theatre tickets, the studio tour, etc. For a large chunk of the year, you weren't getting those stuff because they weren't open or they weren't running or what have you. And obviously that's no criticism of Wizarding World or the Harry Potter marketing team or whoever. That's just what had to happen. Those things couldn't open, which is completely fair enough. But when you're looking at spending a good chunk of money on the gold membership, where part of the perks is the access to these things, and you're not getting that, then you do start to wonder if it's actually worth the money. Another con as well is that a lot of the perks are kind of spread throughout the world, so you're never going to really get full access to them. And again, there's nothing that can be done about this, but it just is the way it has to be. But it's something to consider. For example, a lot of the perks are at the moment that you get early access to the new Hollywood studio tour that they've done up and added the Sorting Hat, and it looks really cool. Me living in Scotland, I'm probably not going to be able to go. In fact, I know I'm not going to be able to go, not when they're still offering early access. There's also obviously the San Francisco, New York Cursed Child, that you can go, and if you go you get a free pin because you're a Wizarding World Gold member. Obviously chances are, at least for the next few years, I'm unlikely to be able to go. Same with Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Hollywood and Orlando. You get a lot of perks with them, which is fantastic, but the likelihood of me personally using them on more than once in my lifetime is very, very unlikely. And similarly, there's a lot of stuff in London that I maybe get a bit more access to, but people somewhere else might not. There are, of course, some places where you wouldn't get really access to any of these things. For example, if you're living in a country in Africa, there's not any offering for you in regards to these, specifically to these events and activities. Obviously, you still get all the other stuff like the ebooks and the activities and things like that. But in regards to early access, exclusive access to things you can actually go and do, you still have them, but chances are you're not going to be able to go. especially because they quite often tell you about these things not too long before they actually happen, so you don't get loads of time to plan trips and travel and things like that. So that's something to consider, and I would worry that if you lived in a certain place, you might not be getting all the benefits that you're paying for. So those are my main points. I'm going to sum up my overall thoughts at the end, a bit like an essay. I like this, a nice little video essay. My first point is, if you're a massive Harry Potter fan like me, then I think it's worth it. The discounts, for example, for me are huge because I buy a lot of merchandise. It's worth it alone just for the discounts, and I probably do by the end of it end up making my money back just on the discounts for the merchandise. But again, if you're not a huge merchandise buyer, then that's maybe something to consider. I like that you get some free gifts. It makes you feel like you're a part of a community, feel like you're part of something special. You get things that you wouldn't be able to buy anywhere else, like I believe J.K. Rowling's Hogwarts map. I don't think you can buy that anywhere else, so that's a really cool plus. And if they do end up bringing back the exclusive events like the Christmas party, then it would 100% be worth it to me without a shadow of a doubt to be able to go and do those things, as long as you're able to travel to them. You also get some fun content like the ebooks and the quizzes, which is really nice, and obviously you get the ebooks. On the website you get some fun content like the quizzes and the ebooks, which is a nice little bonus. I would like if they maybe expanded the website a little bit for the gold members, like having forums and chat rooms and things, just so that you actually have a space so you can talk to other gold members, other fans, arrange meetups at these exclusive events, that kind of thing. I think they could make it feel a bit more like a community. That being said, with all these positives, if you're a casual fan and you're kind of on the fence about whether to get the gold membership, it might not be for you. It is really expensive, and I don't personally think that you get back what you put in. I think you'd really have to be, you know, buying a lot of merchandise, revolving a good part of your life around Harry Potter like I do, in order for it to be worth it. And I do think that if you live in certain locations, you really have to weigh up whether you think you're really going to get the benefits of some of the perks. Overall, I will continue my subscription. I really like being a Wizarding World Gold member, but you do have to consider if it's the right choice for you. If you enjoy free things and you're someone who's willing to travel for Harry Potter related events, then I say definitely go for it. If you're maybe further removed and a bit of a casual fan, then I would say give it a miss. And that does it for my Wizarding World Gold membership wrap up. I really hope you found it useful. It was a bit of a shorter video today, but it was something I really wanted to discuss and talk about and get my feelings out there, because I've been umming and ahhing about, you know, the positives, the negatives, and just whether it's right for you and who the right people it would be for are. So I just really wanted to talk about it, so I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions about the gold membership, you'd like to know a little bit more about it, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any question you've got. Please subscribe, like this video, comment, all of those things. I don't know, I'm a new YouTube channel, I don't know how these things work, but it would be great if you could subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my channel, really trying to get a community going, because I'd love to talk to other Harry Potter fans. And like I say, if you've got any questions, leave them below, but we'll leave it there, and I will see you next time. Bye!